This is by far the ugliest river I have ever seen in Minecraft. So today my plan is to completely transform this eyesore of a river into something that fits into the world that we are building. Let's go. So first of all, we need to fix the bridge. This bridge is very old and completely unfinished, and the world has changed a lot since I added the plans in for this bridge, and I think it's time to kind of reshape it to make it a little bit better. So first of all, I need to get my hands on a little bit more stone, but we have plenty of that here at the base. While I'm here, I'm going to grab up some more fireworks, and let's go back and reshape what we created a few hundred days ago now. We made that plan so long ago. Now, before I go deleting anything, I want to just shape up the new plan. So we're going to start from this block here, and we're going to head pretty much exactly diagonal to the other side. But every 6 blocks, we're going to go up 1 block to increase the elevation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then pretty much up by 1, and then another 6 blocks, and we'll go up by 1, then we'll head a further 6 blocks, just like this. Now I'll do the exact same thing on the other side so we can meet up in the middle. Nothing I hate more than phantoms, all my days. Now, if I'd done my calculations correctly, this should meet up right in the middle. Oh no, we got a guy. Okay, he jumped down, that's fine. Oh, come on, man. See you later, buddy. And beautiful. Looks like it lines up perfectly. So if we have a look at that, you can see it adds a little bit more height. I felt like the other bridge definitely was not high enough, and I really didn't like this shape. It felt a little bit awkward. When I originally built this bridge, the other side had nothing over there. Oop. Oh my goodness. So it was kind of hard to envision exactly how I wanted this thing to look. But now that we have the new design, we can go ahead and remove everything else. Get out of here, buddy. Let's try not to look at that Enderman. I do not want to be fighting him right now. Man, there's Enderman everywhere. I don't know why there's so many Endermen in this world. It's low-key kind of annoying because they keep moving blocks around. So now we got to just fatten this boy up. So I'm thinking of having it 5 blocks wide, but I don't know if I should do it like this or if I should go like this. Let's just start with this and we'll see if we need to fatten it up a little bit. I'm thinking this should be okay. That looks pretty wide, and obviously it'll be a little bit wider once we add in the side parts as well. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Okay, so now I just got to continue that. So I just got to place 3 blocks like this on both sides, all the way down to the other end, and do the exact same thing coming the other way. And there we go. We have the bridge kind of mapped out now. So now along the edge, I'm going to just simply place in some stone bricks, just 1 block outside of everywhere we've pretty much gone already. Just fix up any bits that are a little bit off. Like that. Man, already this bridge is looking so much better than what it was. So I'll just place these stone bricks so we can kind of see exactly where the start of the bridge is. So this is exactly where it starts to make it even on the other side. And I'll do the same thing on this side, just so we have a bit of a better reference. So as you can see, this is the shape we're going to be going with. And I think I'm going to cut these in half because they're 6 blocks wide. I did that on purpose because I can cut it in half and turn it into slabs on half of it to make it a nicer kind of gradient or gradual slope up. I want to slightly reshape this side so it's roughly in the halfway point, and then create the exact same kind of thing on this side. Just start the mountain so it starts looking a little bit better instead of just leading into nothing like it always has. So I'll just kind of get a rough idea. It's going to be tough because there's just water down there and it's coming tonight, so that's a little bit annoying, not gonna lie, but it is what it is. So I think I'm just going to jump down, take off my elytra, and kind of just build a rough guide for where I want the side of this mountain to be. I certainly think this will be nice because I'm going to cut this out a little bit more because obviously we're reshaping this entire river up to a certain point over there where we're going to be building something different. But I can't tell you what that is yet. That's for another video. But I do want to kind of start getting a rough idea of how this mountain's going to flow. Okay, so here we go. We've got something looking a little bit better now. Now I just got to add a little bit of randomness to it, just so it actually looks like a mountain. Okay, now we've got a rough shape of that mountain there. So it's much easier to kind of see how this is going to look on this side, and then of course this side as well. So there's going to be mountains built up, and I think it's going to start looking really, really good. Now I do want to get these slabs fixed so we can have it looking a little bit more smooth, because right now it's very janky. But to do that, I'm going to need some more blocks. So let's make another... Okay, I took my elytra off. That's a bit embarrassing. Let's try that again. Let's make a stop back at the base. Man, I do need to fix this shovel, but after last episode getting that overpowered pickaxe, finally, I really don't want to spend any more time clicking on them Endermen. But I know for sure that I'm going to need to do that before we're able to finish this project fully, because there's going to be quite a lot of digging to do. But because we're going to be using a lot of stone, I'm just going to go ahead and get roughly 2 full shulker boxes of stone, and that should definitely be enough to at least get this started and looking pretty swell. This bridge already looks a lot better. I don't know what I was trying to go for with that circular looking thing. I try to make everything a lot harder than it needs to be. Having a straight line is definitely so much easier. Okay, this is risky. Get out of here, man. So I guess roughly in the middle, let's set up a kind of work area. Of course, I don't have my crafting table, but I know I've got one over here. So I'm just going to pinch this one. Boom. Thank you. So I'm going to create an equal amount of stone slabs and stone brick slabs. And pretty much what I'm going to do is remove 3 blocks and kind of drop it down like this. So I'm going to place 2 half slabs. So it still looks like a block, just like this. So if you have a look at that, that is so much smoother. It kind of just looks like another block, but it's half a block up. So it's definitely working. It just makes the bridge a lot easier to kind of understand. And I just got to do that 5 more times. Okay, and this is the very first side done. So you can see obviously the side of the slabs is a lot smoother than the side without. So now I just got to do that again on the other side. Now I need to figure out where to put the 2 supports. And I'm thinking roughly pretty much right here. So directly in line with the final stone brick on the first one that goes down, if that makes sense. So if I come over here, so this one right here, right underneath here. So that should be exactly the same on both sides. I know the slabs are a little bit weird. I literally cannot figure out what the hell's going on here, but the stone bricks are all good. So that's fine. Let's move on to that. So if I drop all the way straight down and I just build up some kind of pillar straight through the middle. Of course, if I had enough stone bricks on me on my days, right up through the middle like this. And then I do the exact same thing on this side. Okay, that doesn't look right. I think I need to move them over 1 more. So let's put them in the middle of this one here. So roughly here. Let's try that. I'll make sure to delete these ones as I'm going. So same thing here, just right here. That should certainly be a lot better. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, yeah, that looks a lot better. I'm liking that. Obviously, these are throwing me off a little bit because that isn't the exact middle. So let me fix that because that's wigging me out. So the middle is this block here. So this will be our area. So that looks a lot better now. Now that we can see it's actually the middle. So I want these to kind of slope up a little bit and then have the same thing over here. So it's kind of like a circle meeting up. But I think I'm going to need to make them a little bit wider first. Man, I have no idea how I'm going to get this to work, but we're just going to give it a go and see what we come up with. I'm just going to make it thicker by 1 block on each side. Yeah, okay. That's a good start. I'm going to need a whole lot more stone bricks. Okay, let's fatten up the other one as well. Man, it's already nighttime again. What on earth? This is going so fast every single day. But there we go. We have the 2 pillars and they're looking a lot more structurally sound. So now I need to kind of try and create some kind of circle thing in the middle. I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but all we can do is try. So I want it to meet up roughly in the middle, which should be about here. Yeah, exactly there. Then obviously there'll be a line of stone bricks to meet up to that. Then we just need to kind of shape this up a lot better, which is a bit hard without scaffolding, but I'm sure I've got some scaffolding over here somewhere. Fingers crossed. Nope. No scaffolding. That's fine. We'll just keep building and replacing. So I think something along the lines of this will be pretty good. So you can kind of see the shape a little bit there. I think I need to go a little bit more down, just like this. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Now I just have to copy that onto both sides. Okay, that's certainly circular-ish, but the question is it circular enough? I think I might go 1 more just on these bottom ones, kind of just like that. I think that's nice. Obviously, now I just got to do that on the other side as well, but this one will be a lot shallower. So I think this is gonna work pretty well, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty perfect. Let's have a look at that. Oh yeah, that is nice. That is really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this bottom part. I'm going to fatten this up so it kind of meets up a lot better with the edges and kind of see what I can come up with. Obviously, I'm going to copy that onto this side as well. But yeah, I'm going to do that in the form of the time lapse so I can really just go to town on this thing and make it look good. So I'll see you guys in a second. And now we have a pretty decent rough shape for how this bridge will take form. And like I said, very rough. I still need to add a bunch of stairs and some texture into this. But in order to do the texturing, not only do I need to grab some vines, but I also need to smelt up some stone bricks so we can get both cracked stone bricks and mossy stone bricks. So let me grab my shears and then head all the way to this jungle, and I'm just going to grab as many vines as I can. I should probably get myself a vine farm, but right now that's not super important. So combining a stone brick and a vine gets us a mossy stone brick. So I'm going to need a few stacks of vines. I guess I'll just keep going until this shear is completely dissolved into nothing and is just about to break. Boom. Okay. So we got just over 3.5 stacks, which should be enough. And you know, I'm pretty happy with how this is looking right now. Like the basic shape is looking okay. And considering we're barely even started on it, I think it's going to turn out really nice. I'm very glad I changed it to more of a straight bridge. But anyway, let's make up some stone bricks. I'll chuck 2 stacks in here, and then I'll turn 2 stacks to mossy stone bricks. That should be enough. I also want to potentially use some leaves, so I'll grab some azalea leaves. Do I have more in here somewhere? I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, let's grab about a stack. I don't think we'll need more than that. And I need to grab some string to stop the vines from growing too far. So 9 string should be enough, but if I can find some more, 15, 17, oh, 19. Okay, we got a bunch here. This should be more than enough now. Oh, 17. Wow, look at that. 38. Oh, my days. Almost a full stack. Okay, we have way more than a full stack of string. So I'll keep a stack on me for now, and I'll grab a couple of these cracked stone bricks. And do I have some stone brick walls? Yes, that's going to be nice. Oh, I've got iron here too. That's going to be perfect. Yes, please. Oh my days. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, maybe some flower and azalea leaves too. So I'll grab some of them. I'm literally just going through the chests and coming up with ideas. Definitely need some... no, not andesite. We won't need that. Sorry, that's my bad. Getting a bit ahead of myself there. Grab up some torches because I'm going to make some lanterns, and I need to find some fences, preferably dark oak fences, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I've literally got one, so that's not going to cut it. And I got no dark oak here, so I'm going to have to go back to my base just to grab a couple dark oak fences. But it's going to be worth it. I have a good idea for this. I think it's going to be a nice way to light up the bridge and add a little bit of extra color because it's going to be mostly gray with all the stone bricks. So adding a little bit of brown in there, and of course the green, I think it's really going to bring the bridge out and make it look so hectic. Okay, I'm just going to grab these dark oak logs. That should be enough. So let's head all the way back. And while we have the cracked stone bricks over there smelting up, I'm going to go ahead and add in these lanterns underneath. So first of all, let's just go ahead and make up the lanterns. So we get 23. That's plenty. I feel like it's time to start using emeralds to make the lanterns, to be honest, because we have so many, like an unbelievable amount of emeralds now. So that's not really much of an issue. I think that'll be a good thing to use them on. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and find the blocks like that and just throw in a lantern like this every now and again. Maybe 3 between each. Is this a block? Yes, it is. Perfect. And then I'm trying to avoid the slabs. Perfect. We hit it again. Beautiful. And let's just have a gaze at that. Yeah, that is nice. That is exactly what I'm looking for. So we'll do the same thing here. So go the first one. Once again, the first one and the middle one. Beautiful, mate. Look at that. Oh man, this thing is coming together so nice. I'm loving it, mate. I'm absolutely loving it, mate. You can't really see this one, which I don't really like, to be honest. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I can grab it. Beautiful. And expand this one down by 1. No, that's weird. That's weird. I think I'm going to have it here. Yeah, I don't have a choice. That's going to be how it is, I guess. Oh, well, that's fine. I think it looks okay. This one's a bit smaller anyway, and so is this one on the side. The middle one's very large, but I think that's pretty nice. But obviously, it looks very, very bland right now. Obviously, it's a bit hard to see with the stone in there, but that's going to go. What I want to do before I remove the stone on this side is add in all of these special blocks to texture it. I think texturing this is really going to bring it together. It's going to look so sick. So let's grab up some cracked stone bricks. We should have plenty. Yeah, that's way more than enough. Beautiful. We'll also make up some stone brick stairs, and we'll use our stone cutter. Don't worry. Boom. And I'm just going to use these to kind of shape this a little bit better because I feel like there's some really weird points in here where it's just a bit rough, but I'll be very intentional with it. I'm not just going to throw them down everywhere. Already adding those stairs in just really gives it a much nicer shape. So now I'm going to go ahead and replace some of these stone bricks just with the mossy. That'll add a little bit of green in there. Once again, very, very gently. I'm not going to just throw a bunch of it in. I want it to be very kind of quiet. I don't want too much in there. I mean, already I've only added a tiny bit in. It really just changes the build. Adding that little bit of texture is all you really need to do, and it brings everything together so nicely. And I'll do the same thing with the cracked stone bricks. Just add a little bit of that in. It's kind of slightly darker than a regular stone brick, so it just adds that little bit of difference in there. And I'm telling you, it really brings everything together nicely. I mean, just have a look at that, guys. Oh my days. That is incredible. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and grab the flowering azalea and regular azalea leaves and just kind of have them wrapping throughout this kind of bridge thing, kind of like that. I think it's okay. That looks fine. Once again, I don't want to go too crazy on this. I don't want it to take up too much of the space. I think that's better. And of course, just to add a little bit extra in. Oh, hold on. That's a ugly color because we're in a savanna biome. You know what? I'll add a little bit in just so I can kind of see how it looks. That's not a savanna biome. That looks fine. Maybe I'll just add it on the insides where it's not a savanna biome. Kind of like that in little spots. Yeah, I think that looks good. Just little bits. And it's really going to bring this thing together, I think. I think I'll remove the spots where it's like orange. I don't think that looks fine. But I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of this bridge. Once again in a time lapse. So enjoy that. And ladies and gentlemen, now the texturing of the bridge is complete, and I think it's turned out really nice. Now all that's left to do is do the side supporting parts to make sure people don't fall off the side of the bridge when they're walking across. And I'm going to try something a little bit different. So on each of these middle ones, I'm going to go up by 3 half blocks, just like this, and connect them across like this. It's extremely simple, but I think it could work out pretty nicely. Actually, I might have to go 4, to be honest with you, and connect it like that. Let's see. So I'll go down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just like that. How does that look like from outside? I think that looks okay. That's pretty nice. Maybe I'll go up like that potentially. I think that's okay. And on this last one, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple, just like that. I think that's pretty nice. It's extremely simple, I know, but it's kind of hard to do anything else just with the shape of the bridge. I mean, I could go like this, but I don't know. I feel like it just looks a bit weird, but I think this looks weird too. Okay, let's try this. Let's see how this turns out if we do it like that. So on each of these middle ones, I'm going to just go up by 4. And in this one here, where it's a bit flatter, I'm just going to go up by 3. From the inside, when it's like this, it's a little bit dangerous because you can just walk across, but that's just how this design for some reason worked out. I mean, maybe I could change these ones to stone slabs so it kind of works better. I think that's going to be what I have to do. Yeah, that's going to be what I have to do just to fix these kind of side bits, but I think that's going to really work out well. It's going to work out in our favor. I think that looks really nice from the outside too. That's so good. Or more days. It's extremely simple, but I think it works out really well. And I can change some of these to be mossy, which will be nice. All right, that's these sides now fully complete and it's looking so good. I mean, let's have a look at this from the sky. Just have a look at that, guys. Does that not just look incredible? I'm so happy with how this has turned out, and it's going to get so much better once we get the river fully complete. Oh my days. This is so much better from what it was before, and now we can very clearly see that we're going to be able to connect both of these huge kind of pieces of the kingdom together to create one whole kingdom. I'm going to head to the end to fix up all my tools because I need them fully repaired to be able to do this next part. And the next part involves kind of shaping out exactly how I want this river to go. The shape that it follows right now, I don't really like. So I'm going to go ahead and trim up the sides and start planning out exactly where this should go. Most likely this whole bit here is going to be dug out, and this river is going to move over a little bit, and we're going to reshape this entire side of the mountain pretty much up to in line where this is here, straight across, because I have something really cool that I want to build in there. But in order to do that, we need to fix up this entire river here. So let's get started. Of course, I started in the end, slapping around some endermen until my tools were completely refurbished. I then made my way back to the project area and began working on fixing up the mountainside where it was desperately needed. I mean, that whole area was completely cooked. I then started gradually adding in some sand into the riverbed to keep it consistent and allowed it to gradually move deeper into the water as it moved away from the mountainside. I then moved down the river to where the river originally continued a really weird curve and removed an entire hillside to allow the river to flow more naturally past the bridge. I made sure to carve the sand below the water level before allowing the water to flow into the area just to make it quicker and easier. I then continued slightly further down the river and began erasing another entire hillside and adding in a gradual slope for some roads to follow. So we've done a lot. this area is changing very fast. As you can see, I've added in a bunch of sand to part of the river and started shaping up this side, but right now we're doing a bunch of terraforming and I'm making sure to collect every single block. Obviously I still have to do this entire side here, but every single one of my shulkers is absolutely maxed, so I'm gonna have to throw some things out just to pick these things up. And this chest area over here is also completely full, well, very close to it, so it's time to start sending the items to the main storage area. But I need to do a little bit of an upgrade to it because right now it's not really possible to efficiently transport all of the items down here because we only have one chest. And if I show you what I do, if I just fill this up completely and then also this one completely, that's not even one shulker box and it's already full. And now we have to wait until this slowly dribbles down. Now, if I wanted to increase how quickly this went down, it would take a whole lot of work and probably an entire redesign of the entire system. So instead, I'm going to be a bit lazy and expand the hoppers down this way so then I can fill up all of these chests as well. And to do that is going to be very easy because all I need to do is gather a little bit of iron, which I have plenty of. Do I have any cooked iron? That's the real question. No. Okay, I'm just going to smelt this stuff up. And then all I need to do is link the hoppers to these bottom 5 chests, and all of a sudden we're gonna have a much higher amount of storage up here to send down to there. Oh, I do have one hopper, beautiful. So it's very simple. All I gotta do is connect the hoppers like that, and now that's an extra 2 chests, but they're gonna start filtering 2 chests at once. It just means we can fill these chests and leave them running, and just over time, just by having the extra storage in there, it'll all eventually get sorted. So I guess it's a very temporary band-aid to put on the system. In the future, I definitely need to try and get something a bit better going. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know because I'm still not used to this entire automatic sorting system. I've never used one before. This is the first time. I mean, realistically, I shouldn't be having this many items going through it at once. I should be a little bit more consistent with sending all the stuff in, but whatever. Now, to bring all of those extra items, I'm going to need some more shulker boxes. I'll get every single shulker box that I have on hand, and we'll head back to start collecting up a bunch of those items. So I'm going to try and keep a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be using down here, and just try and get rid of the stuff that I'm probably not going to use, at least for a while. Now, I know for sure I'm probably not going to be using any grass and dirt, which I think we have a ton of in these chests. So it's going to be very easy to empty these out, and as long as I keep them in the same shulker, they don't really need to go through the auto sorting system. It'll be a lot quicker for us to just dump them into the right chests. So I'm just going to go through and collect all the grass and dirt. We have so much on my days. I didn't realize how much we had. I think we are almost full on literally just grass and dirt. All of our shulker boxes. I don't even know if I'm going to have enough storage back at the base for all of this. Damn, why do we have so much dirt? Oh my days. Okay, I don't think I could ever run out of dirt. This is a little bit too much. Literally every single one of these shulker boxes here, at least in my inventory, is filled with dirt. Like, that is wild. All right, let's take all these back. And we are collecting so much stuff down here. Mostly dirt and grass blocks. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what to do with all of this stuff or if we're ever gonna use it, but all I know is it's definitely not fitting in these chests. Not a chance. Okay, already full, and we still have a ton. So I guess we'll go to the back wall and just start filling in some of this deep storage. I know I got deep storage for cobblestone, but it's not even gonna compare slightly to how much dirt we have. All right, and that is all of the shulkers emptied, and we've got a bunch of stuff going down now. In fact, I should probably keep the stone, to be honest. We chuck that in there. Now, before I do leave, I do need to make even more fireworks. I keep running out very fast, but I have a whole stack in there. Beautiful. Ready to go. And I've obviously put my stake in here somewhere by accident. There it is. Thank you. Man, this base is so nice. I'm so excited to keep expanding it, and especially connect these two together and start working around to make just a huge kind of area. It's going to be so satisfying. Now, there is one more thing I need to do, and of course, that is one more trip to the end. But this time, I want to start a new tradition for each episode. Each episode, I want to add a huge chunk to the end portal so we can really start seeing it come together. As you can see, this hole is very small, but we're going to change that. So I want to create a 8x8 hole every single episode, which I know is a whole lot more digging than we're already doing today, but it is what it is. So this is already 8 blocks wide and now it'll be an extra 8 blocks wide this way, pretty much in a big square like this. And I want to try and do one of these every single episode. And the reason I'm a little bit more confident to do it now is because we have this beautiful pickaxe here with efficiency 9, which instantly breaks deep slate. And I do want to start using more deep slate in my builds, so I guess it's a good time to start collecting it. So every episode, I'm going to pretty much dig an extra 8 blocks wide, a big square like this, all the way down to there. Oh my days. Am I crazy for doing this? I think so. I think I got a couple screws loose, but we're gonna do it. And as the episodes go by, this hole is gonna get so much better. It's so much closer for us to be able to start working on such an awesome portal entrance, which we need to do. But if I did this in one episode, I think I might just go crazy. So breaking it up into a bunch of episodes, I think is gonna be very helpful. And just do it over time. It'll make it seem a lot more manageable. Then when it's time to build, we can just build. So we finally made it down to deep slate, and this is taking a lot longer than I thought, but we're collecting a lot of stuff, so I think it's definitely worth it. But look how big this hole is getting now. It's just from this part alone, there's pretty much doubled in size. It's gonna really get this thing a lot closer to where we can start working on building an awesome entrance to the end. And we're finally at the final block. Now we can enter the end portal from the very top. It is almost completely exposed. Well, it is 100% exposed to the sun now. So the end portal can finally see the sun. How beautiful is that? I'm so excited to start working on this project, but obviously it's not gonna start until we have this entire area completely excavated out. I don't even know how big it needs to be, but yeah, we'll figure that part out later. I do not need to be dying by these guys though. Oh my days. Oh, and we found diamonds. Beautiful. It's never a bad thing. How many diamonds do we get with Fortune 5? Let's find out. Let's find out together. So from 8, is that all? Is that all there is? Oh, there's a ton of iron here. Look at this. Oh, 8 more diamonds. Look at that. Oh my days. What on earth? 44 diamonds. That's beautiful. I don't mind collecting all this iron though. That's awesome. We need iron. We need iron bad. Okay, anyway. No more getting distracted. Oh, raw iron. Oh my days. Okay. Enough. Come on, buddy. 44 diamonds is not bad at all. But as you can see, this hole is getting absolutely huge now. And that is this kind of hole dug for episode 25. We will expand it more on episode 26. But now let's head to the end and of course continue on our project. So I got my tools fixed again and then began working right away on finishing off the hillside. I wanted to bring it all the way down to the same level of the river so I could more easily see the width of the river. I then used this as a guide to plan the mountain on the other side, building up huge stone cliffs to encase the other side of the river to give it a much nicer look. Once both sides were set in stone, I continued the same pattern using sand to keep the river consistent and clean, slowly getting deeper closer to the middle of the river. And ladies and gentlemen, this is now the river. It looks 153,000 times better than what it did before, and we've already got some fish moving in. Honestly, this is incomparable to what we had before. This is looking so much better. Obviously, we still have to work on this entire mountainside. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do with this whole bit here, but I've got a couple ideas. And then at the end here, I know exactly what we're going to be building. I've got some awesome ideas for this area, and I think it's going to really change the entire thing. But the most important thing is that these two sides are now much more connected. I mean, this bridge is now complete and it's fully connecting both sides except for this over here. So we real quick just have to go ahead and finish up this path and finally have the two different kingdoms, well, I guess the two different parts of the kingdom finally be connected. Just have to dig out a decent path and make sure it's consistent in the size and have it connect up to this bridge. And of course, just fill it up with some stone. And there we go. Now the path is connected to both sides. I'll also just quickly connect this path up as well, because this should link up to this main road here. Now I do want to add a couple little bits of detail into the river and the sand parts, but I'm going to need to go to my base to get the supplies. I'm going to grab some dead bushes and as many bones as I can find. For some reason, I don't have any rockets again. This is a serious problem that I really need to try and fix because we use a lot of rockets. It's almost impossible to get around this entire place without them. Maybe not impossible. It will just take a long time. But I guess we have another stack at least for now. So I guess that's a problem for another day. But I am going to grab as many bones as I can so I can also add some seagrass in. But I'm going to add the dead bushes in along the beach just to add a little variety to the sand. We do do not want this guy blowing up. No way. Well, that skeleton did some major damage. Anyway, like I was saying, dead bushes around the edges, just to add that little bit of variety in. And I'm going to add some bone meal in, closer towards the bottom, trying to keep it kind of scattered and not too much of it. So obviously when I place in bone meal, it adds in way too much. So just got to kind of reduce that a little bit. I'm just going to plant a bunch of it in, and then I'm just going to go through and dig it all out. I feel like that's probably the fastest way to do this. Wow, look at all of these sea creatures moving in here. We got a bunch of fish, we got squid, we got everything, and they're loving this place. So now I obviously just remove wherever I think there's a bit too much, and then that should give us a good kind of little bit of detail through the middle of the river. And obviously the fish like it. They're everywhere. And ladies and gentlemen, that is looking so much better. It's very minor, but I think it really adds a lot of detail to the river. Now I want to know what you guys think I should add to the river, to the sides, maybe some special buildings, or I don't know, whatever you guys think. If you have any ideas, make sure to let me know down below, and maybe we can make an entire video dedicated to just adding a bunch of random stuff in around this entire world, because you guys have given me so many different ideas and I want to build them all of those little details you guys suggest. I make sure to take note of them all, and there's definitely going to be a video of everything together where we add all of those kind of smaller things into the world. So if you have any ideas for the little details we can add into this river, please let me know down below. But honestly, I'm so happy with how this project turned out. That river is now looking like an actual river, and I'm excited to see how it changes on the map. Obviously, it's really bringing both sides of the kingdom together, and I mean, you can see them both very clearly being joined by this river here now, and especially this bridge. I'm so happy with how that bridge turned out. It is incredible. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're still here right now, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you more than you could imagine. And as always, until next time, peace out.